जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरि गबरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे राधे। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री राधा माधव की Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we will be reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, sloka 21. Karya karana kartritve, Karya karana kartritve, Hetu prakriti ruchyate, Hetu prakriti ruchyate, Purusha sukha dukkhana, Purusha sukha dukkhana, Bhoktritve hetruchyate, Bhoktritve hetruchyate. Anyone from the Prabhupada side want to recite? Karya karana kartritve, Hetuhu prakritiruchyate, Purusha sukha dukkhana, Bhoktritve heturuchyate, Karya karana kritatve, Hetu prakritiruchyate, Purusha sukha dukhanam, Bhoktritve heturuchyate, Karya karana kartritve, Hetu prakritiruchyate, Purusha sukha dukhanam, Bhoktritve heturuchyate. Someone from Mataji side? Karya karana kartritve, Hetu prakritiruchyate, Purusha sukha dukhanam, Bhoktritve heturuchyate. Karya karana kartritve, Hetu prakritiruchyate, Purusha sukha dukhanam, Bhoktritve heturuchyate. So we'll be reading word by word. Karya of effect, Karana and cause, Kartritve in the matter of creation, Hetuhu the instrument, Prakriti material nature, Uchyate is said to be, Purusha the living entity, Sukha of happiness, Dukkhanam and distress, Bhoktritve in enjoyment, Hetuhu the instrument, Uchyate it's said to be. Translation. You can repeat. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects. Whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyment in the world. This world. So, purport by Stephen Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The different manifestation of body and senses among the living entities are due to material nature. There are 84 million species, different species of life, and these varieties are creations of the material nature. They rise from the different sensual pleasures of the living entity, who thus desires to live in this body or that. When he is put into different bodies, he enjoys different kind of happiness and distress. His material happiness and distress are due to his body and not to himself as he is. In his original state, there is no doubt of enjoyment. Therefore, that is his real state. Because of the desire to lord it over material nature, he is in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is no such things. The spiritual world is pure, but in the material world, everyone is struggling hard to acquire different kinds of pleasures for the body. It might be more clear to state that this body is the effect of the senses. The senses are instruments for gratifying desire. Now, the sum total, body and instrument senses, are offered by material nature. And as will be clear in the next verse, the living entity is blessed or damned with circumstances according to his past desire and activity. According to one's desires and activities, material nature places one in various residential quarters. The being himself is the cause of his attaining such residential quarters and his attendant enjoyment or suffering. Once placed in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature because the body, being matter, acts according to the laws of nature. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. Suppose an entity is put into the body of a dog. As soon as he is put into the body of a dog, he must act like a dog. He cannot act otherwise. And if the living entity is put into the body of the hog, then he is forced to eat stool and act like a hog. Similarly, if the living entity is put into the body of a demigod, he must act according to his body. This is law of nature. But in all circumstances, the supersoul is with the individual soul. That is explained in the Vedas, Mukunda Upanishad 3.1.1 as follows: Dva Sharpana Sayucha Sakhya. The Supreme Lord is so kind upon the living entity that he always accompanies this individual soul and in all circumstances is present as the super soul or Paramatma. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. कार्य कारण कर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुष सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyment in this world. So, this very important verse where Krishna is explaining that there is always cause and effect And we go through different kind of suffering and different kind of enjoyment, right, based on our actions. In Bhagavad Gita it says, Nahi kaschit chanam api jatu tishtati karma krit. So there is never a time, like every living entity is meant to be doing something, right? Somebody is eating, somebody is thinking, somebody is studying. They are doing something. It's impossible that a person can be like staying idle. He will be doing something. He might be sleeping, might be awake, he's running, like doing something, right? And all these activities a person is doing, why he is doing, this is what we're going to talk today. So that is in search of happiness, right? We know that in Vedanta Sutra it explains Anandamayo Bhyasat. So every living entity is searching for happiness, right? No matter who, even the cats, the dogs, the human beings, you name it. Everybody is looking for this Ananda, where it is, wandering around, right? And in this world, we can see that this one thing actually unites everyone, is this desire of happiness. Everyone has this desire, right? So for the poor man, happiness means to have money, right? So if I have money, I'll be so happy, right? For a person in a village, like to go in the city, see that charisma in the city, that's his desire. If I go to the city, my life will be very happy, right? So many people in Bombay or in India, Delhi, they are living in big cities. They think that coming to America is going to make me happy. And those people who are in America, they think if I go to the moon or Mars, that is going to make me happy, right? So, but we can see that in present condition, nobody is happy, right? Even the happiness comes, what happens is that there is always, it's limited. In Bhagavad Gita, it's explained, Krishna explains this concept very, very nicely. Yahi samsparsa jabhoga dukkha yonevate adyantavanta kaunteya nate suramate uda. For example, like if my favorite food or your favorite food is like pizza, or especially youth, like they love pizza, and everybody gets happy. For other like older people, maybe some sweets, rasagulla, gulab jamun. But if somebody gives you a pizza, slice of pizza, you'll really say, wow, such a nice pizza. Can I have one? Yes, sure, please take it, right? So, and second slice of pizza he eats, third slice, oh, thank you, admire that third slice of pizza. Fourth slice, is now already it's getting there, it's up to the neck. Fourth slice, fifth slice, oh Prabhu, okay, done. It's a favorite. It's giving you so much pleasure. Why don't you have it? No, because the problem in this material world, Krishna explained here, is that there is a beginning of the pleasure and there's an end, right? The same pizza, like if you now eat extra, what happens? You will vomit. You don't want to even see pizza. I don't want to name pizza. I don't want to don't even bring. I don't want to smell of pizza. That situation. There was actually a real incident that happened. One devotee in India, he was eating prasadam, and I think he was eating the first time. This was amazing feast, a lot of sweet. He was eating and he was unconscious, and he was taken to the hospital, and the doctor said, we have to cut his stomach. And why? Because he had eaten so much sweets, so much halwa that up to the neck, there's no space. They couldn't even put the medicine. This feeling, it's terrible, right? So this is why we try to squeeze, here this happiness in that way. So how can we get happy? There was one king, he went to a sadhu. I want to find happiness. Unlimited happiness. Where is that? Then the king, the sadhu said to the king, you go outside and catch a butterfly. The sadhu, the king was trying to catch a butterfly. The butterfly is running away. Again, he's trying to catch. The more he tried to catch the butterfly, it's running away. And he was so tired. Oh my God, I cannot. The whole hours already passed. Sweating is so hot, and the butterfly could not catch it. And then he was so tired, he was laying down, and the butterfly flew slowly, and it stays in his nose. It's gone. Then he was surprised. What happened? Then he goes to Sadhu. What is this? I was trying to catch this butterfly. Let me hold this butterfly. I want to catch this. Then the Sadhu said that happiness is just like that. The more you try to hanker, like it's there. I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to catch it. It's almost there. But the more you run after it, right, it's go far away from it. Right. So that's the situation we have. Right. So we can see, and everyone has their own idea of happiness, right? Someone says happiness is like a perception. Somebody says like happiness is inside you. Why are you finding looking outside, right? Happiness is in peace. Somebody says if you focus completely in your work, you'll be very happy. So many kind of ideas people have in perception. Even Jesus says seek, you can find, right? Somebody said don't seek, you will find. So we see that for seeking this happiness, we have been doing so many things, right? So we studied, a lot of youth studying education, studying hard, college, giving so many extra times. And why are we doing that? Just to think that maybe if I graduate from very good university, I'll get good job, right? Then I'll be happy. Why we get married? Maybe I'll get happy, right? Why we work, right? Maybe I'll get some money and I'll be happy, right? We build so many beautiful opulent houses. Why we do that? Maybe we're thinking I'll be happy, right? So we buy fast cars, right? Or Ferrari now, all these cars high tech cars are there. Why are we buying this? Maybe this car is going to make me happy, right? The smartphones we can see every day, iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, X Pro, I don't know what Pro, 11, 12. Still people are not happy, right? Maybe this technology is going to make me happy, and so many advanced technology are already there, But still, we're looking for so many advancement we have made. So many big buildings, so many construction, security, so many things we have. But are we still happy? We are still stuck to the question, right? And we are thinking that one day I will find that happiness. And we're working hard. There's in Vrindavan, I've seen this. There's a donkey they put, and there's a cart, and there's a small stick and a very fresh carrot they put in front of the donkey. And the donkey is trying to reach the carrot. I just want to eat this carrot. I want to enjoy this. This carrot should be so amazing. I want to relish this carrot today. So he starts walking to catch this carrot. And the owner of this cart, he put a lot of loads of, a lot of sacks of rice and so many things, sugar cane, and just make the donkey walk. And the donkey is walking. He doesn't realize that he's just trying to catch it. So he's thinking that I'm going to catch this happiness. And the whole day he's working. He's a donkey anyway. He works as a donkey. Works so hard. But ultimately he gets the carrot. It's rotten already. Whole day it is sitting in the sun, already dirty. And that he feels it's so beautiful, right? It's so amazing carrot I'm enjoying. So this is what is happening in our life. And the question is how to find happiness. There was one boy, he was going in school, and one day he was thinking so bored, everyday school. I want a holiday. So what he did after the school, he brought 3 beautiful white sheep, huge, perfect white, and he painted over there, number 1, 3 ships, number 1, number 2, and number 4. And he took these ships in school and led them inside the school. And next day, the school cleaner came, and the teachers, everybody came, all the liters, the sheep, everywhere, the sheep was doing all the nonsense around, every dirty, yucky. And all the teachers, everyone was like, what happened? like, it's so dirty. They try to like, oh, there's a ship. Now they catch this ship. This is number one. Then they find out the ship number two. Then they find out the ship number four. And they're looking for this number three. Oh my God, where is this number three? Holidays for school, because we have to find this ship. So basically our life is just like that, right? We are not grateful for what we have. We have already found this 1, 2, and 4. But we're looking for this tree. Maybe this tree is going to make me happy. Because of this, I'm not happy. Like in the relationships also, we can see that actually it's wonderful, but they're thinking like, if something I have extra, oh, this is going to make me happy, right? And just like a tongue, like, when we eat sometimes prasadam and something stuck in the tongue. All this 32 teeth, everything is like clean, but one tongue, like the teeth is stuck. Your tongue is always going there. Always, like, everything is perfect, but it's so agitating, like, all this, the happiness, like the perfection you have in other teeth, that is gone. Doesn't make like any value to you. Just thinking about this stucking, like, just trying to figure out how to do it. So most of the time we can think that our life actually is not miserable, right? But when we feel that other situation is better, or maybe this person is doing much better, oh, he has a nice car, he has a nice house, he's always looking and comparing, then he becomes so miserable. There is a very nice story about this person. Everybody might heard this. This person went to Lord Shiva. He pleased Lord Shiva, and he said, "My Lord, please bless me. Whatever I ask, you bless me with that." Then Lord Shiva says, "Tathastu," but there is a condition. Whatever you get, your neighbor will get double. No problem, Lord Shiva. If I get, it's fine. So he goes very happily. His wife says, like, get a beautiful. I want a beautiful mansion. So one beautiful mansion, like, manifested with big acre of land, one mansion, and he saw in a neighbor 2 beautiful houses, like a mansion, huge. I want, and he whispered, like, I want Ferrari. Boom, the car came in, and in his neighbor 2 car, like Bentley and more the car, like, fast car. Oh, he got 2 car, and he said, like, I want a Miss Universe, as my wife. Then on the neighbors, like Miss Universe and Miss America, like, he's like, what is this? He's getting double. He could not take it. So he said, like, my Lord, take my one eye out. So you can imagine what he's asking for. So this is what our life is, So we're trying to find this happiness, right? And where can we find happiness? So before that, let's discuss, like, we have different categories in the world, right? Even in school, we have, like, how you call the smart kids, how they call it? Honors kids, and, like, what other called? Valedictory. I don't know. So they have different kind of grades, some categories, right? So every place you see, you'll find categories, right? And even in this purple, Prabhupada explains that we have a category of living entities. There are 84 million species of life, right? So the animals, right? We have insects, amphibians, plants, and the humans, right? So whenever there is categories, we can see is the either common things and the differences, right? So what is the common and what is the differences between the humans and animals? That's what we're going to discuss. So in Hitopadesh, it's a very nice, beautiful sloka that describes this concept. What is the difference and what is the common? Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam sa samanyam etat pashubhi naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahina pashubhi shamana. So I put this synchrony here, seed. So first is ahara. Actually, ahara, nidra, bhayamaitunam cha. So our first category is sleeping. You see that sleeping, nidra. So the animals also sleep, right? we also sleep. But we see that animal can sleep anywhere. Like in one time I was traveling in India, like there's train station, so much noise, people are walking, and there was a dog, such a nicely sleeping. No, he didn't even bother what is happening around, so peacefully sleeping, right? But in human case, we see without eating a sleeping pill, so many people cannot sleep. There was one boy he was not able to sleep for 6 months, So that's our situation nowadays, right? So, and we can see that other is like, people spend so much money just for this sleeping. Yeah, I was researching the most expensive bed in the world. This bed, Bladacchino's Supreme Bed, it's cost $6.3 million. Can you imagine? Right? This is 250 pounds of 24 karat gold is there. It's carved with Italian silk and cotton curtains, and the headboard is custom built, features diamonds, and stones and buyer choices, So we can imagine, spending money. Magnetic floating bed, $1.6 million, right? See how much people spend so much money for all this, right? Yeah. But the sleeping principle is the same, right? And the other is like, the eating principle, right? So if we ask an animal, what is your aim in life? So they might say, I just want to eat, have food, sleep, That's what I would like to have, We'll never see that, like, in nature, like cow is thinking today, maybe let me eat some Manchurian today. Or the tiger is thinking, I'm eating this raw flesh too much, let me cook, make some chicken soup and eat. They never have this. But in human, this eating principles, they want to test something, let me release this. In Singapore, they have like moving restaurant, like, this, you sit, because it's the same, like, restaurant, everything is same. But the scenery is changing all the time, it's fresh all the time. And you release more, they think. In Burma, they have this very crazy festival they have. What they do is any insects they catch in their house, and they have a pot, a clay pot outside of the house. They keep all this insect trap inside this wooden pot, like this clay pot. And at the end of the year, there's a festival. Every house has this. And they cook these insects, and they relish and enjoy so much. Just imagine, right? So this is what it is. In China, you can see like people are eating anything. Whatever crawls, whatever flies, just catch it and fry it and eat it, right? So people are experimenting so many things. Like, how can we release this eating principle, all right? So then enjoying the meeting, right? Ahara nidra bhai maithunamcha, right? The meeting, the procreation, right? So we can see that, like, we try to have this principle of enjoyment. We think so many ideas, go to somebody gets married, they go to Switzerland, here spending so much money, all this for enjoyment. But there is we spend so much money for this, then again there is separation. But animals, they never have complication of separations, right? The other principle is defending. The animals use their claws, their teeth, the nails, the very crude way they use to defend, they protect themselves, right? But humans, now we have so much sophisticated technologies like metal detectors, they have security cameras, they have guns and all these things, right? So we can see the commonalities it explain. Ahara nidra bhai maithunamsha. Samanya means same. Similar with what? Samanyam etat pashubhi narana. With the pasu and nara, the human is same, right? So we can see that this principle, the seed, is very same. So, but we can also see that, the animals also have sometimes the logical thinking. They are very, very smart. Like a cat or monkey in Vrindavan, you see if the owner is not in the house, they know this is the time to sneak in. Very smart. Like they will steal, they exactly know you're out of the house. They just come in, go, open the window, and that's it. The cat, the monkeys are very, very smart. So they have logical intellect, right? We can see that. Even and the seed principle, this eating and all this. Actually, animals are better than us. It is said that elephants, how much they can eat. They are voracious eaters. Like 200, 300 pounds is nothing for them. They'll just eat. Crazy, right? Eagles, see, they have the best eyesight. They can see so far. There's a prey, they can just hunt so fast, right? So we can see who can beat horse in running, all these things we can see. So what is the differences? We'll talk about it. There's A, B, C, D. So A represents higher inquiry. Right? We'll describe more on this. And B is bliss, C choices, and D is ability of determination. Right? So, and the second part of this sloka says, Dharmo hitesham adigo vishesho. There is something very special about the human being that differentiates us from the animal. And that is Atato Brahma Jikesa, what I have said before. So human life is meant for inquiry. Why I'm suffering? Right? Why this is happening to me? All this inquiry the human has. But when a person utilizes this power of inquiry, that is elevating him to higher life. Right? Gautam Buddha, actually when he was born, by the astrologers told that he either will be the most popular king. He'll rule entire universe. He'll be very, very powerful king. Or he'll be a sadhu. He'll be sent renunciate. And his father was so worried. So he had to build such an opulent palace for him. Right? He never see any kind of misery, nothing, any kind of scarcity, nothing like that in his whole youth. He was having all these facilities. But one day when he was traveling in his youth, he was walking, he saw a man bended, wrinkled skin. And he asked this person, his assistant, what is this? What kind of person is this? He said, this is old age. Oh, what is old age? And he says, this is everyone has to go through, Siddhartha. And they start walking. Then one person was coughing so hard. He was terrible condition. He was surprised. What is this? He says, disease. And everyone go through different kind of disease. He said, then you go 4 people carrying. And what is this? Why people are carrying them? This is death. What is death? There's left the body. Gautam Buddha was stunned. What is this? What? Then he started thinking about, why this is, I need to find solution for this. Why people are getting old? Why people are getting disease? Why people are getting, I don't want to be old. Who wants to get old here? No, I don't think anybody wants to get old. Who wants to die? Nobody wants to die, right? So we can see that this is happening, right? But as I'm saying that as being a human being, we have to utilize this power. There was once a farmer, he got a lottery. He won millions of dollars. And what he did, he had a tractor in the farm, used tractor. Now he bought a Ferrari. And from the Ferrari, he's trying to do the farming. It's going to work? No. So in the same way, we got this human body, right? But if we use this human body just to do these 4 principles of seed, sleeping, eating, mating, and fending, we are no better than animals, right? Dvipada Vasu, it explains Shastra. So the second difference is bliss, baby is bliss, right? So in English, Ananda and Khushi, Sukha, is happiness. But Sanskrit is very, very subtle. Sukha actually means the happiness you derive between 2 sufferings. That is happiness. Just like in previous days, whenever they used to punish a prisoner, They used to put them inside the water, and they're like, their head is inside the water. They couldn't breathe, and almost he's going to die. Like his last moment, and they just take it out, and and he's like feeling like, oh my God, so good. Then again they put you inside, and that particular moment is called actually is sukha. But ananda actually is unlimited pleasure. This is not defined by the external. That is ananda, right? So we can see there are different kind of ananda. So one is physical. It's called parthiva rasa. So there are so many physical places you can get that release this kind of ananda. But because we have limitation, like a rich person, there was one guy who was very poor, and one day he wanted to eat this aloo paratha. He was poor, he was begging the store like, I don't have money, please give me. But he says like, sorry, go away. And inside he was thinking, one day I'm gonna make so much money, then I'm gonna eat aloo paratha every day. And he became rich somehow, but he got, with all this hard work, he had disease where he cannot eat aloo paratha. Have sugar. All that. So this is a condition. You have, but you have facility, right? But ability is not there, right? So this is the condition. There's other happiness we can get is called emotional. That's called swargiya rasa. You can release this kind of bliss. And intellectual rasa is called Brahman rasa. So just like acquiring knowledge, people get so much pleasure on this kind of thing. And the highest is spiritual rasa. That is the bhakti rasa. So, and we can see that only human has this capability of enjoying and releasing this rasa. Let's go a little faster. So, and animals, we can see that they act by instinct. Those C stands for choices, right? So animals don't have choices. Whatever they see, they find this. But human beings, they have choices. Even eating, like how you want to cook. You have, like the wheat, for example, the atta. You want to make it paratha. You want to make plain paratha. You have choices. You can make so many varieties, right? So this is the thing. So whatever animals are programmed to do as whatever comes, but the humans, they act very differently. They have this intellect to see. So there was one drunkard. So he had two sons. It was miserable condition. He has wasted his money. He was always drinking. I don't know. You don't see much people here like that. In India and Nepal, you will see people. They drink too much and sleeping on the street. Vomiting. He doesn't know what is happening. So people are like that. This father was like that, drunkard, and he had two sons, and one son was just like that, drunkard. And people ask him, "Why are you like this?" And he said, "Look at my father. What do you expect from me?" And there was other son. He was an IS officer, like a big post, government post. And people ask him, "How come you're like this?" And look at my father. He also said that, you conditioned my father, right? Because of my father, what can I do? So it's a choice that how you utilize it, right? For the same situation. So we can see, we already discussed about that how we are special, that we have this ABCD than animal. But if we spend, like as I said, we spend our time in just eating, sleeping, and mating and defending, then we are no better than animals, right? Dharme nahina pasubhi samana. So without real religious principles, we are no better than animals, right? So in Shastra it says that it's called Dvipada Pasu. It's just like a two-legged animal, because no difference. You're doing the same thing, but just sophisticated way, right? We can see all our advancement we're doing. Before we used to eat in a leaf plate, for example. Then came steel plate, then now maybe if you have money, you will eat in silver plate, gold plate, but eating will be the same principle. We're just spending so much, working so hard, investing our human life for this, right? So, and we are so much stuck with this, and we are suffering. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is very beautiful sloka. It says, लोकाश्वयं श्रेयसि नस्तदृष्टि योत्थान समिहेत निकाम काम अन्यो न वैरा सुखलेश हेतुर अनंत दुःखम च न बेरमूढ़ा. So what happens that because of this material hankering and competition, oh, he has this money, he has this envious nature, he is doing so much sinful activities, right? He misuse this human ability and just go on, wasting time on this principle of eating, sleeping, and sex and defending, right? And what is goal of life, right? So everyone, we already discussed, we all are looking for this happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness, right? In Rishabdev actually tells that Nayam deho deha bhajam nriloke kashtan kamanarate bidambujam ye tapo divyam putrakaye nashatvam sukhe desmad brahma sukyam tvanantam. He had 100 sons, Rishabdev had, and he was instructing to all his sons. He was saying, Nayam deho deha bhajam niloke. So he's saying, explaining that, oh my sons, all this, whatever you're trying to look, whatever you're doing, this material enjoyment you're trying to hanker, even is available for hogs and dogs, right? This kind of facility, this kind of enjoyment is even for them. But what is meant for the human? You have to look for Brahma Sokyam Tumanantam. You should hanker for that happiness that is Ananta, right? So that's our goal, right? Kind of happiness we're looking for, which is permanent, which is ever increasing, and which we can share, right? And it has varieties, right? So if these characters are absent, if these characters are not there, it is called relative happiness, right? And what stops us from being happy? Problems, right? And they are, as we have saying that there is real happiness and there's relative happiness. Relative happiness is something like, just like the dentist, right? So one man's food, another man's poison. A dentist will be so happy that somebody eats a lot of sweets and spoil his teeth. It's so nice, he's coming with the miserable teeth. Now making money, right? So once happiness becomes of displeasure, that's called relative happiness. If there is so much rain, the umbrella seller will be so happy because he can sell more umbrellas, right? But the other person is miserable. That's called relative happiness, right? But what is a real happiness, right? And first we'll discuss about real problem. So definition of real problem is, first thing is, has to be common to all. Everyone has to go through, every one of us has to go through that. Common to all. And second definition is, no one wants it. That kind of problem is a real problem. And the third one, no one can avoid it. What are these problems? That it's common to everyone, is no one wants it, and no one can avoid it. And that is birth, old age, death, and disease. So much pain for the birth. For the mother, you can see, it's like, so much pain. The child sitting in a womb in a dark place, it's very, very difficult condition. The old age, back pain, either with the, I cannot sleep, you have anxiety, nobody cares, such a miserable condition, old age. And death, such a painful condition, right? You have earned so much, I have all this bungalow, all my name, fame, everything is just taken away, right? Actually, Garud Puran explains it's equivalent to 40,000 biting of a scorpion. That kind of pain is death. So painful. And disease, right? Everybody will find some disease, right? There is a very beautiful poem in Nepali. I want to just recite one of the paragraph. Bhaka bhul daya chmar mamata santosh jandai natyo indrai binti karun chukera padma tyo binti mandai natyo thupro maudhini mithor na mitho रोजेर छंदै न त्यो खाता जाची सबै दुरुष्ट न बुझी बिर्सेर हन्दै न त्यो राजा रंक सबै समान उसका वैषम्य गर्दै न त्यो आयो टप्प टिप्यो लाग्यो मिति पुग्यो टारेर तर्दै न त्यो लाखों औषध अस्त्र शस्त्र महिमा देखेर दर्दै न त्यो व्याधा तुल्य लुकेर चल्द सदा मारेर मर्दैन त्यो. So he's saying that, like, all this, the dead personified have no mercy. Even Indra comes and begs, Chodo bhai usko. No, he have no mercy. He doesn't accept anyone's, like, binti and begging, right? He doesn't care what is good, what is bad. He just see all this khata. He has all this record and just takes away, cut, right? And even Raja Rank even can be a beggar or king. He doesn't care. He'll just take away. No one can stop it, right? Lakhon osada sastra. You can put so much medicine, spend so much, all these astras of medicine you can put, but still it cannot protect, right? Vyadha tulya lukera chaldasa. Just like a vyadha hiding and hunt. He just comes and attack like that and take you, right? So Asuka Dhamma Nuhoncha Chiso Pani Chonade. He loves to take bath in tears. Makes everyone cry because it's so painful, right? Death. So there are other causes of miseries. There's like Adhyatmika Klesha, Adhibhautika Klesha, Adhidevika Klesha. It's one's own body and mind, other living entities, and natural disturbances. So I'll just skip this. And just go to the conclusion. So, as we said, like, now why we have this kind of human body we got. It is excellent, like, this fast track train. It has such an amazing speed, 200, 300 kilometer miles, I think more than that, right? But if it is going in the wrong direction, what happens? You will be more far from your destination, right? So human life, we're getting all this tremendous advancement, right? But if we are going in this high speed, right, but in a wrong direction, right, we will be go more further away from our destination, right? And what is our real solution for this? Just like there was a multimillionaire father and son. They were traveling. And one day in the flea market, they were walking, and this son got lost somehow, like, too many people. And was looking, the son was separated. And the father could not find him. The son was crying, could not find him. He started coming, and people coming. He was giving, like, giving a food, giving shelter. You come, I'll take you, take some food. Somebody's giving clothes, somebody giving ice cream. But he got all these things, the toys and everything. But after again, sometimes he started crying because he again remembering father, right? So one of the person came, oh, you're a son of this guy? Oh, I know him. So he brings him and he connects to the father. And that's actually a real solution for the real problem, right? Just patching up, giving some ice cream, all this. Like, for example, if there is a fire in this house, right? And somebody comes from outside, oh, it's so much burning hot. Let's have some ice cream. This will cool you down. No. If you're burning so heat, take some ice cream to make you feel a little better. No, you just hold him, take it out. That's the real solution. Not taking ice cream. But whatever solution actually we're trying to do is the same thing we're doing, right? We're doing all this patch up. So that's why the real solution is to go back to God, back to Godhead. There's a beautiful sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I want to recite. Chaitanya Simhera Navadvipa Avatara Simha Griva Simha Virya Simhera Hukara Say Simha Vasule Hriday Kandare Kalmasha Dvairado Nasa Yahara Hukara. Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya is like a lion. He says, Chaitanya Simhera Navadvipa Avatara. He appeared in Navadvip. This Lord, like the Shimha, appeared in Navadvip. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Simha Griva, Simha Virya, Simhera Hunkara. His power, his strength, his hunkar, his speaking is like a lion. Say Simha Vasule. If we keep this Simha, this lion in our heart, say Simha Vasule, Hriday Kandara, in your corner of your heart. Kalmasha Deradanasa, Yahara Hunkara. If we keep this lion, this Simha in our heart, and one roar he does, all our kalmas, all our impurities goes away. right? In Niti, there's a very beautiful saying that Rahu has nectar, but it took his life. But Lord Shiva has a poison, but he was glorified, right? His guys Nilkantha and Kalkantha, right? But that's why it means that it's not about what you have, right? It's about who has it, right? Just like, the mridanga. If somebody doesn't know how to play mridanga, perfect musician come, how nice, so beautiful, wow. Violin also like so nice music, wow. Now if somebody comes and give me a violin, it brings misery, right? It doesn't make any sense. It becomes nonsense, right? Same thing, in the same way, we have got this human life, human body, right? So it's all about utilizing this. We got this, but you got it, but what about it, right? So this is really wonderful opportunity that our center is trying to provide. We all are searching for this right thing of this happiness, but in wrong place. Krishna explained that just like in Sanskrit, wherever there is a books, it's called Pustakalaya. If there is a lot of snow, it's called Himalaya. And Krishna explained this place is called Dukkhalaya, this place of suffering. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dosa, Nrasana. There's always suffering in this world. Dukkhalaya. Dukkhalaya Sustam. Right? So, we cannot find happiness in this material world. It's impossible. Right? But when we are able to connect ourselves to our real Father, right? And the process that is given, right? In Sati Yuga, the process was meditation. People have thousands and thousands of years they live. So they do thousands and thousands of years of meditation, right? In Treta Yuga, they used to do huge yagyas. It goes on years and years, yagyas. It was going on mantras and chanting. Brahmanas are chanting so many mantras, right? And in Dwapara, they do a lot of beautiful deity worship, very opulent deity worship, and offerings every day, reciting mantras and all those things they provide. But this is not possible in Kali Yuga, right? Kaler doso nidhe rajan eko asti madguna. In Kali Yuga, you will see only faults. This is the age of Kali. There is quarrel and hypocrisy. Always fault, you will find everywhere fault, right? Kaler dosu nidhi rajan ekosthi madhu. But there is one good, excellent quality on this Kali Yuga. Krishna eva Krishnasya. A chanting of Krishna, right? Parambraja, that can elevate us from this. So let's us take this process of this chanting. So mantra means manasa trayati mantra. It can deliver our mind. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, Cheto darpana marjanam bhava maha davagni nirvam. This whole world is davagni, the burning forest. If there is a burning forest, if you have what they call the fighter, they come and they cannot take off the forest fire. It's huge. For that, there have to be heavy rain, right? Davagni, that's called. Samsara dava nalali dhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghana tum praptasya kalyana gunana vasya vande guru sri charanara vindam. So we are suffering through this. Davagni is there all around. And who can save us? Is by Guru. By accepting, taking shelter of the people who are realized, who knows. That's just like the person who knows the Father, who he exactly can connect us. Then we can be happy, right? And I'm very, very happy that every one of you has taken time and opportunity to come to the center and hear us. And for any mistakes or any doubts and questions, you can let me know or you can ask. And sorry for any mistake and inconvenience. Hare Krishna. So any questions? We'll take, if there is, we'll take one questions. It's already late actually. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.